let's bring in our next guest. We have Henry Morley, founder and CEO of True Luxury Travel. And Henry, it's great to have you on the show. We have lots to talk about when it comes to travel and whether or not people are feeling comfortable booking their next trip. Give us some perspective on this. I know your company deals with the high-end luxury vacations, but what are you hearing from your clients at this point? Is demand starting to pick up?
We do. Well, thank you very much for having me on the show. It's been an interesting few months. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, but I'm pleased to say we are seeing some green shoots. We surveyed our clients about 3 weeks ago, and of course, we've seen big appetite for domestic travel. But we were surprised with the appetite for American clients to get out and travel as soon as they can. 29% of our surveyed clients wanted to travel as soon as possible. And 68% said as soon as Europe opens up again, they would get on a plane. We surveyed them also about how they would like to travel, because I think clearly getting from place to place is as of a concern as how destinations are dealing with coronavirus and social distancing itself. And I think there's a big step in terms of our clients, certainly at our end of the market, wanting to pay that little bit more to have more space on a plane, so upgrading the class that they would fly in. But we were encouraged, I think, that people are looking further afield than just domestic travel for 2020. I think what we're seeing at the moment is people tentatively looking for 2021 trips. There's a lot of time to plan. People have had a lot of time to themselves. So they're looking at their wish lists for the future. Some are making 5-year travel plans, or at least discussing that with us. But also we're seeing a little bit of hesitation in terms of actually getting those trips over the line. So I think, yes, domestic travel is going to be this summer, no doubt. We can all see that, and we've seen a huge uptick in drive-in and fly-in domestic US, and also over here in the UK. But I'm quietly confident that as things open up in Europe in June and July, potentially later in the summer, we will see international US clients coming in. Not a huge percentage, certainly not the numbers that they usually come in, but we're quietly confident.
Question on that. So for two issues come to my mind for international travel. Number one, what if you go someplace and you get sick and you're not allowed to go home? And two, if you're an American, you have to think about your health care, the kind of health care you would get if you got stuck someplace. What kind of solutions are you offering for those problems?
Well, Rick, it's a really difficult one. I think one of the biggest concerns that our clients had when we surveyed them was exactly that, was traveling to a country which may be okay now, and then there would be a second spike and them getting stuck in that country. I think things really are going to develop, we think, in the next, certainly from a European perspective, in the next 2 to 4 weeks. And I think really clients just need to be comfortable with the countries that they're traveling to and how successful they've been, and what social distancing and what measures they have put in place. Again, looking back at our survey, I think 72% of our US clients will have a focus on the destination they travel to. They want to travel to a destination that was successful in handling COVID. So we've seen, for instance, a big increase in inquiries to New Zealand, of course, and Australia. Now, those borders are closed. And what we're hearing is that they may be closed until long into Q4, potentially into January next year in New Zealand. And they don't have any cases in that country. So I think we have to be realistic about when American clients are going to be able to travel into Europe, into Australia, into New Zealand, even into those countries that have contained COVID as well as possible.
And Henry, we've seen some pretty steep discounts, whether it's from airlines or the hotels themselves, as these destinations try to lure travelers back. On the luxury end, are you seeing the budgets a little smaller? I mean, what are you hearing from your clients in terms of what they're willing to spend for that next vacation? Have you seen an impact as a result of what's happened?
Well, it's interesting. There's a trade-off, because the fly and flop destinations, so the Caribbean, the Seychelles, the Maldives, they are pushing big discounts. But we've also seen a lot of clients expecting discounts for future travel, for 2021 travel. But what has happened in our industry is that all of the trips for this summer, the 2020 trips, have been either cancelled or postponed into 2021. So availability calendar is filled up. And then you have the bookings that would usually come in are struggling to find space. So actually, in a lot of cases, no, there are not discounts flooding in. But for the shorter term travel, for maybe the fall and Christmas travel, for the fly and flop regions, yes, there are big discounts available, 30-40% off seasonal rates.
All right, Henry Morley, a founder and CEO of True Luxury Travel. Great to get your perspective on where we stand just in terms of returning potentially to normal in the travel industry. Thanks so much for taking the time today.
Thanks very much.